sector that is truly the driver of this country's growth and development. In this regard, I would like to take the opportunity to salute our guest speaker, my brother Mustafa Njai, and the tremendous work he is doing with the youth of this country through the Tough Startup Academy, which he founded. I know that since it launched, together with his foundation, he has trained and broadened the perspective of thousands of Gambian youth, and thus increased their capacity to fend for themselves and create a life at home. I would like to acknowledge all the members, directors, staff, and important stakeholders that have supported GAIN since inception and continue to support the network as we chart a path forward. We have registered some significant success so far. Among these, we have trained 50 companies in investment readiness and fundraising activities, 17 of whom have pitched at our events. 8 companies were identified to proceed to next phases of the investment process, and 2 companies successfully secured an investment from our members. That's Daraja Boutique Limited, they're here today, and Indil, with matching grants from the co-investment scheme set up with ITC. We have also facilitated learning events and platforms for ecosystem players. The Chamber of Commerce, ABAN, for their support to the network and making the creation of GAIN a reality. I also thank the government of the Gambia through the Ministry of Trade. They were instrumental in the founding of GAIN. I would like to highlight the important role that the ITC has played. I believe that GAIN will be one of the important legacies for the YEP project under the auspices of the ITC. We look forward to working with ITC on the, I'm sure, different projects. I believe the profiles of our members will be played on screen, so I need not refer to them. Permit me, however, to make two special mentions: our first corporate affiliate, Trust Bank, and the immense support it has provided to the network. We are truly grateful. I also make special mention of INET, our newest affiliate. We aim to build long-lasting relationships with both these companies and other companies that we intend to recruit on our journey. Any business can become an affiliate. The forms for affiliation are on our website. Finally, I would like to use the opportunity afforded to me by this platform to invite like-minded Gambians in business, industry, and the professions, whether they're in the Gambia or in the diaspora, to join us at GAIN to support our efforts. The application for membership forms are on our website. I say to you all, we cannot give up on our people. It is hard. The going has been tough. We cannot give up on our youths in particular, who in many respects are a victim of the education poverty this country has suffered for the last 2 decades. I believe through organizations like GAIN and other partners in the investment ecosystem, we can make a difference. On a final note, and on behalf of my fellow angels, directors, and staff of GAIN, I extend my thanks to all of you here present for taking time to be with us today. Particularly, our guest of honor, our guest speaker, and our partners. I pray that all expectations that we have set for ourselves for this program will be met. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ami Bensouda. I think she's a force to be reckoned with. It shows and it reaffirms the commitment that GAIN has in supporting the entrepreneurship ecosystem. But before I call on to the next speaker, I would like to have certain members of the high table to join me on stage, because we have a quick surprise that's going to be coming, and so we would need you guys to do us the honors. So if we can have Ms. Roberta Reed to join us on stage, please. And Mr. George Elage of Indil. Welcome, George. And our honorable guest, Mr. Mustafa Njai, Youth Mantaf. formalization of what we know today as GAIN. The team both in the Gambia and in Geneva has committed time, resources, technical support in the formalization and continues to play an active role to ensure the smooth and efficient execution of the network's mandate. This is part of the crux of what a true partnership looks like, creating sustainable solutions for pressing issues such as access to finance and the auspicious occasion like today. Bringing forth niche talents such as Mr. Adrame John, who was the founding MD, and professionals of somebody who we all love and respect, Mr. Aliou Senghor. Not here though, but Mohamed Aliou Bari. Mohamed Aliou Bari has continued studying abroad to make sure that the work of GAIN continues, and we also want to recognize that. And the rest of the staff. So today, before I call on the speaker from the International Trade Center, who is Ms. Roberta Reed. Ms. Roberta Reed has 20 years experience in working on issues of international trade and development industry, international relations, fundraising, non-governmental organizations, policy analysis, and strategic planning. She has worked for other renowned institutions such as USAID and Eco Ventures International, the Caribbean Export Development Agency in Barbados, advising Youth Enterprise Development Program in Eastern Caribbean on creating effective private sector linkages to accelerate youth enterprise creation. She has a Bachelor's of Science in Business Management from the University of West Indies and a Master's degree in International Development from the prestigious George Washington University. Ms. Reed is currently the Senior Advisor, Office of the Executive Director at the International Trade Center in Geneva, Switzerland. As fitting, I would like to welcome you to deliver the partner remarks. Ms. Reed.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my first time in the Gambia, but my fourth time on the continent, previously mainly Ghana, so it's an honor to be here with you this morning. And I want to also acknowledge the team whom you most likely know, Raymond and Mayara, who have been leading out on the work here, as well as the other ITC staff who are here. So this morning, basically, I am just going to give a few remarks on behalf of the Gambia, particularly for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. At ITC, this is a topic close to our hearts. For countries grappling with high rates of unemployment and underemployment, entrepreneurship is key to create more and better jobs, particularly for young people. And this is something that is very critical for the ITC's executive director. She recently, I should say, the organization went through a revision of our strategic plan, putting again at the heart of our work, gender and youth. So this is very fitting to be here and to see so many young entrepreneurs, and to see the ecosystem players is very heartwarming and important, because you are critical to the work that we will and continue to do in the Gambia. Private sector credit in the Gambia is equivalent to only 8% of gross GDP, well below the West African average. Accessing finance is particularly difficult for young entrepreneurs who report that high interest rates and collateral requirements hamper their ability to start new ventures and to ramp up job-creating investment. Startups and MSMEs in need of longer-term investment and risk capital to finance their ventures face additional challenges. Back in 2016, ITC launched in the Gambia the Youth Empowerment Project, also known by many of you as YEP.
This project, funded by the European Union, to which we are thankful, seeks to promote skills building and the creation of decent work opportunities for young people, particularly through entrepreneurship and small business growth. The YEP approach includes tailored access to finance solutions to small businesses at different growth stages, thus allowing enterprises to grow sustainably and eventually become ready to access commercial financial products. ITC has set up 3 related programs to help entrepreneurs and businesses access startup and working capital. For young grassroots entrepreneurs in need of startup capital, YEP launched a mini grant scheme. For more mature entrepreneurs, YEP and the Social Development Fund partner to offer mini loans at below market rates. Finally, for high growth enterprises in need of larger volume of seed funding, YEP worked together with experienced players in the business and investment community to establish the first angel investors network, which you are well aware of, GAIN. And as I listened to the chair this morning, I heard and I saw and I felt your desire to do more, and just want to encourage you and the team to keep pushing. Angel investment does take time. In the Caribbean, we also had a angel investor network, and it did take years before we actually began to see fruit, so keep pushing. GAIN provides potential investors with a transparent and impartial channel for the assessment of deals in the country. It also supports local businesses in finding appropriate investment solutions in keeping with their needs. So I want to congratulate the GAIN members for the valuable contribution you are making to the entrepreneurship and investment ecosystem in the Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now close to 6 years since the launch of and see the progress on all fronts. YEP, which is part of the Techie Fee program, has worked with more than 1,000 small businesses, supported more than 5,000 young Gambians in skills training, and another 5,000 through entrepreneurship and business support. More than 500 entrepreneurs have benefited from the YEP access to finance solutions. In addition to the grants, close to $300,000 US in private capital has been unlocked to small businesses, but there's still a lot to be done. I look forward to hearing your ideas on how we can build on our progress and together address the many challenges before us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Reed. Again, can we please have a huge round of applause for ITC? I think partners like you guys are so important. They're so important. Most projects, they come into our country and they don't really care about the sustainability of some programs. And it's so important to have that. These initiatives are driven by Gambians, sustained by Gambians, and it will continue to serve the entrepreneurship ecosystem. And I think having partners that recognize that is really, really key. So thank you very much for your support, the team both here in Gambia and Geneva, and welcome. We are known as the Smiling Coast of Africa, and I hope that we embrace you with the warmth of the country. Next, on the agenda, we are going to have Mr. Omar Baji, who is stepping in for the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, to formally open the event today. Yes, you are. We can't open anything without the government.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Awesome. No, I'm good. Thank you. Chairperson Jane, representative from ITC, captains of the business community, sponsors of the event today, senior government officials, if there's any present here, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, I want to welcome all of you to Jane Investment Day event, an event close to the hearts of all startups and angel investors in the Gambia. I have been duly informed that today's event aims to provide a platform for the private sector to showcase its value proposition to a local and international community. That will include actors in the investment, entrepreneurship development corporation, as well as the public sector. Also, this event should and will serve as a platform to showcase opportunities available to entrepreneurs as they exhibit their products, pitch to the investors and participants, and participate in the talks around the topics of promoting investment in the Gambia. Furthermore, business supporting organizations will also benefit from the event, having a platform to promote their entrepreneurs, as well as have access to investors, network with them, both here and outside. I want to compliment, on behalf of the Honorable Minister, the efforts of the great team behind this idea, Mr. Mamadou Drame, Mr. Raymond, Fatou Menga, and all other members involved in this event. We have here today the ITC, GAIPA, the Chambers of Commerce, Gambian startups, international recognized Gambian investors, together with our local entrepreneurs. This is very critical and very important. Chairperson, meaningful discussions on encouraging private investment in sustainable development must involve both the public and private sector. The public sector is responsible for ensuring that the regulatory and the policy environment encourages responsible long-term investment into the Gambia. Therefore, I am heartened to see an equally diverse group of public and private sector representatives here today. I am especially interested in learning about the setbacks, challenges, as well as the progress we've made in building a more transparent, stable, and predictable investment climate in the Gambia. As we gather here today for this important event, let me outline key objectives that I believe could guide some of the thoughts of our discussions for today and beyond. First and foremost, we need to recognize that investment in sustainable development is a collaborative effort. Investment required to meet the development goals outlined in our National Development Plan will not happen on its own. Government needs to join hands with investors, enterprises, and other visionary institutions and individuals. Today's Investment Day event is a unique opportunity to promote such corporations. Second, we need to be willing to listen and to learn from each other. One of the innovative features of Jane is that it will dive deep into the nuts and bolts of investment in the Gambia. We are lucky to have many people here that have been directly involved in forging large-scale investment into the Gambia. They can provide us with unique insights on what it takes to create and close large-scale deals. Let's think outside the box. In fact, let's dismantle the box and start thinking. But in doing so, we must remain mindful of the local context. More analysis is required to design the financial instruments that can respond to the unique situation of our Gambian economy. Thirdly, today's event provides a chance to move from dialogue to action and pave the way for new deals. I am convinced that there are many untapped funding opportunities within the Gambia. I therefore encourage a constructive dialogue among all the participants on the appropriate incentives and targeted interventions policymakers can put in place to promote investment in the Gambia. Chairperson, we've just launched the Unity Country program, and it highlighted Industry 4.0 and the critical significance of innovation and entrepreneurship and its role in inclusive, sustainable industrial development that will ensure rapid economic transformation in the Gambia. Most often, innovation is seen through the prisms of Silicon Valley, as typically something that has to do with the first world phenomenon. But here in the Gambia, we have recognized that the key to growth is entrepreneurship, investment, and innovation. Innovation simply means doing something in a new way. It might be a minor change, it might be a major change or an improvement. It might be a tweak, just a tweak. Challenging the norms or a disruption within the industry, or doing something different. It does not necessarily have to be a great technological breakthrough, the great new digital business that is going to be the next Instagram, Google, Zoom, or Facebook. Therefore, changing the culture of business so that it is more innovative is critically important for the development of the business ecosystem in the Gambia. Finally, let's ensure today's discussion have a real and tangible impact on the people of the Gambia. Our today's outcome should and would feed into the new development plan, our new investment policy we are in the process of making, the new GAIPA strategic plan, as well as all the policies and plans of the ministry responsible for private sector development. That is our ministry. This event should be an annual event. I therefore encourage Mr. Drame and team to consider such, as this can be a national platform to facilitate new investments, deals, and promote large-scale businesses. I therefore urge all of you to remain engaged in today's process and to ensure that it will have a lasting impact towards a more and a prosperous Gambia. I am delighted to be here on behalf of the Honorable Minister. Therefore, on his behalf, I want to declare this event officially open. I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much. You see, when he said I declare the event open, everybody clapped, because no event is formally open without our parent ministry. Thank you very much, Omar. He has also been very instrumental in shaping what the entrepreneurship ecosystem today looks like. And whenever I have Ministry of Trade in the room, I like to continue to indulge and urge them to help make the investment environment very, very conducive. We really depend on the policies and the strategies of the ministry to make sure that each and every one of us, our dreams of what we believe the goal and the potential of the entrepreneurship ecosystem that we are able to achieve. And we know how your role is very, very important in that particular process. So thank you very much for taking the time to attend today. Next on our program agenda is the elevator pitch by Indil. So Mr. George Elage, I keep on saying Georges, but it's George Elage. He is one of the GAIN portfolio companies that recently got funded. So we wanted to invite you on stage to do your elevator pitch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You might need to have the recording as well.
The recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today, and thank you to all the representatives, as well as GAIN, ITC, and yep, my name is George Alhaj, so I'm the founder of Indil. I'll go on more about that. I'll just explain who I am and where I came from. So I was born in the Gambia, and I grew up here till I was about 14, 15, and I recently spent about 20 years in the UK before coming back. So that I spent 15 years in the city, in London, working on systems development and processing before my return to the Gambia. Having returned, I noticed that we have a few issues that I wanted to try and solve, one of them being convenience and saving time. I wanted to be able to connect businesses to customers and customers to businesses. There is definitely a more convenient way as a business to sell your product, as well as for a consumer to buy your product. I'm sure many people in this room have heard of Uber Eats, Just Eats, Deliveroo. Why don't we have that in the Gambia? So I wanted to do a similar model, but Uber everything. Not just for restaurants, for pharmaceuticals, for health, for groceries, for local produce, and many other businesses and vendors. So, Indil is the e-commerce shopping and delivery service owned by Indil Gambia. So we are a fully registered business in the Gambia with our systems developed and looked after by a operating team that I have down the road. Indil is our delivery platform that makes getting food and products from your favorite local restaurants and stores as easy as requesting a taxi. Probably easier. The purpose of Indil, as I've mentioned, is to connect users with a range of local restaurants and stores and local businesses. The issues we face here are issues of timeliness, reliability, our infrastructure, as well as convenience. And definitely there is a better way to connect the two. This is where Indel came about. So it's a project I've been working on for about 2.5 years, and with the support of GAIN and its angels, we've managed to officially go live. We launched 3-4 days ago, and we've had a huge uptake from businesses. Thank you. We already have over 40 businesses registered on our system with over 4,000 products. So right now, everyone in this room can actually download our app on the Android and Apple Store, and you can order us lunch. So that's kind of the problems we were looking to solve, and we are definitely on our way to solving those. You know, my team as well, I'm a huge supporter of entrepreneurs in this country. I think we're in a fantastic position where we do have lots of entrepreneurs, and it's something we should drive and push forward, as well as push our youth forward, especially the Youth Empowerment Project. I think the average age of my company is 24 years old, and I'm the one who brings that average up. So who are we? You know, why was Indel also born? So we were born to give small businesses as well as medium and large businesses an equal opportunity, a level playing field, right? I've gone around today to a number of the stores, and I've asked them, where are you selling your product? A lot of them say, from my house, from my store. Right now, we can actually enable you reach a larger demographic and consumer base, not just in the Gambia, but also worldwide. A perfect example was 2 days ago, a gentleman in Texas ordered a surprise dinner for his family in Fajara. Not a single message or call was made, and the delivery was done in under 29 minutes. So your products will actually, thank you. So your products and businesses will not just be shown to the local market, but the diaspora market as well. Our apps are available in 175 countries, so our outreach will be growing and will be growing every day. So why us? You know, we've spent 2.5 years working on our platform, and it's something we're very, very proud of. We've built purpose-built algorithms to look after the Gambia, our businesses and our products. We're trying to develop a strong brand and a unique place to shop, a place where you can where you can feel that you can trust the business that is on our platform, and the business can trust the consumers that are coming to us, right? We've integrated Visa debit card, we've integrated Apple Pay, so it's really, really convenient. Right now, I could order you all pizza and just pay on Apple Pay. I'll just need someone's credit card. No, but thank you very much for having me here. It's been a fantastic opportunity to be able to speak to you all today. As I said, we're continually surrounded by entrepreneurs, and everyone is always pushing to change the ecosystem and move forward. I myself have been very lucky that one of the entrepreneurs and a trailblazer in the Gambia, and someone I'm proud to call my uncle, who's on his phone, hello. I've known him for 38 years. He's known me since the day I was born, and he's just someone who is like an idol and a mentor, as well as other friends and families, so allowing us to do what we do. But I'll just finish to say thank you very much again to GAIN, ITC, and YEP for having me. It's a fantastic opportunity, and I look forward to speaking at more events if you'll have me again. But thank you very much, everyone.
You did a fantastic job. George's humor is unmatched. Thank you so very much. Also, because George is one of the portfolio companies on the GAIN, we have about 50 businesses exhibiting today. Those that are in agribusiness, in banking, finance, fintech. We have BSOs in the room. We have companies in media and analytics. The reason why we're doing this is to showcase Gambia's innovation, what we have. Most of the time, everybody is doing little things in silos. But events like this bring everybody out. And so we can know what we have in our market. And so we are also hoping that it will be a good opportunity for the angels to also see the potential that is out there. And if you have any questions, I'm hoping the judge will stick around a little bit since he was able to be part of the network and be a portfolio company. So if you have any specific questions in terms of how he managed his way to get to that level, I think he would be happy to share that knowledge. And now the fun part. We are going to have our keynote speaker. The next man that I'm about to call on stage, he really needs no introduction. He is the only approved and recognized youth man over the age of 65. This phenomenal figure has a career that spans more than 45 years in real estate development, housing, construction, philanthropy, and public speaking. He continues to give back to his community through the renowned TAF Hub and the series that we all love, and sharing valuable insights on business, finances, and wealth creation. He also launched his own academy, helping the next generation of business leaders. This has won him numerous awards across the sub-region, recognizing the impactful work that he does and continues to do for Gambia and Africa as a whole. He was awarded the Entrepreneur of the Year, West Africa, issued by CNBC, All Africa Business Leaders Awards, in November of 2017. He also was the Honorable Businessman of the Year, issued by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in January of 2011, and the Businessman of the Year by GCCI, which is the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industries, in May of 2006. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and privilege to call on no other but the incomparable Mr. Mustafa Njai Taf.
Thank you so much. These days, when I do this, I carry my phone and make sure I stay on the time that's allocated. So just allow me to put my stopwatch on because I can go non-stop. I have been allocated 30 minutes, so there we go. Let's start. So, members of the high table, my sister, Madam Ami Bensouda, the representative from ITC, the representative from Ministry of Trade, and my dear nephew, or my son actually. You know, what I do these days when I do these things, I don't write speeches because I speak my heart. Because whatever we're going through here, I've gone through it already. Let me first start that when I sat with my sister, Madam Bensouda, there, I turned to her that, do you realize that we are the eldest here? And that's very common now. Wherever we go in events like this, that's the reality. And then she said so, yes, we were classmates. So without guessing her age, you know her age. Then George came on the podium and called me an uncle. Yes, actually, George's father started me in business, Sharbel El Haj. So what goes around comes around. And we ended up, jointly owning some major businesses. I don't know how old you guys are to remember Taf Bell, but Madam Bensouda will remember it, and I'm sure Madam Jallo will remember it. We used to own a 100-room hotel. I think today it's called Saj. We sold it afterwards, and it was owned by us. So there's always been the need for angel investors. So he was an investor in my business. I owned the land. I was going to build a hotel, and we ended up calling the hotel Taf Bell, meaning Taf and Sharbel. So whatever you're doing is not new. Now let's go to the core of the business. I was asked to speak on the theme, which is positioning the Gambia as a regional service center. And they want me to speak, in relation to promoting investment promotion, in the country. Now, what is very common also is that I hate speaking to myself or to the wrong people. And that's what happens most of the time these days, especially in this country. When we talk about investment promotion, I want to turn and see those who are responsible for investment promotion. But you turn, all I see here are upcoming entrepreneurs. But all the same, I would like to make my presentation, giving you examples or assuming we all know that when you want to go and play in the Premier League, because the league that every footballer wants to get into, if you want to get in there, what do? You go for your medicals. So you must be fit. Apart from the skills, you must be fit to play there. And if you fail your medicals, you cannot play. So if we're trying to get Gambia positioned as a regional service center, what do? I would like to take you through a SWOT analysis of this country. I guess we do know what a SWOT analysis is. Young ones, do you know what SWOT analysis is? You know? Okay, good. Which is one, looking at our strength, our weaknesses, the opportunities we have, and the threats. And in this conversation, we need to be very frank and honest with ourselves. Because we are operating within a sub-region of about 15 countries or so, isn't it? Coastline, there's a number of us along the coast. So if we want to position ourselves as the regional center, we need to do this SWOT analysis, first addressing our strength. So I'll start with our strength. One, geographical positioning. As I mentioned, yes, that's a strength. We're geographically located, in a very good position, because if we were to fly from here to America, it's about 6-7 hours. South America, probably shorter. Going into the sub-region, same. Going to Europe, 6 hours or so. The Middle East is short. So that's our strength. But when you have a strength, you need to capitalize on it. Then also, it's relatively a peace and a stable country. Although we have some few issues nowadays, but to be very relative, I can still walk down the Senegambia Strip or go into Kololi, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then somebody will shout, "Oh, Uncle Taff," only in the Gambia. Or you find George walking there. George dare not walk in Port Harcourt by himself. Or I dare not even drive a car in Port Harcourt. So it's relatively peaceful. Then, a youthful population. I think we have over 60% of our population are youth. But again, across the board in Africa, it's more or less the same. Now, our social diversity and cohesion. I think that's a strength. At times when I have guests with me, they are surprised at the way we interrelate. I went to a burial on Sunday, and I was shocked to see some people who were related, to the same family that I was related to. I was shocked to know this, and that was a reality. They were related by marriage. But that's who we are. We have a saying that if you lift your hand here in the Gambia trying to strike a blow, before you do, somebody will say, "No, don't. You're putting the blow on your own self." So these days, at our age, I identify people by their parents or where they are born from, whatever, and then there's always a relationship one way or the other. Now, agriculture. Agriculture for this country is a strength. Fertile soil, good amount of rainfall, even the water, underground water, quite a number of underground water. Half of the length of this country is with clean, well, not clean, but good water for agriculture. So this is a good strength. A beautiful tropical weather for tourists. Tourists come in here and they love it. So that's also another strength that we have. And then untapped land in the rural area. Not only the rural area. I drive to Tough City. I'm sure you do know about Tough City, so I will not do any promotion about it. But every time I drive from my house in Brufut to Gujur, all I see is green. And that's what keeps knocking in my head. This is a country where if you eat watermelon and throw the seeds, come back in the next 1 year, you will find melon growing. So this is an absolute strength. It's a good strength that we have. Now, let's go on to the weaknesses, which is the difficult one. And if you have an ailment, you need to address it. And that is why it's good to talk to the ears that will listen. That look, this is a weakness, and when you have a weakness, you address it. If you are limping, what do? You see them, they pad you up. You need to adjust. And I think as a country, we need to address our weaknesses. And I will now list out the weaknesses. One of them is poor infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, it's not only road, but ICT. Because here we want to be a regional service center. And number one in being a regional service center is ICT. Actually, I told somebody that if you were to ask me, that tell me one thing that they should fix in this country, you know what I will tell them? It's not power, it's not water. For me, the internet. That's my preference. Because with the internet, I have the world, and I don't have an option. I have an option of getting a generator. I have an option of putting up solar, wind. I can do that on my own. Water, I can drill a borehole. But internet, I have no choice but to go through the IT providers. Now, internet in terms of weaknesses. These days, I even measure the strength of our internet, the speed. And would you believe that when I'm in Tough City, I get connected to Orange. I get 10 MB